What's up? What's up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside Ringwalk Danny, and we have special guests in the building, Nico, Ali, Walsh. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to have you in studio, man. Obviously, we had you in our other studio, but good to have you here at the Win and have your face plastered on the wall.
Yeah, it's crazy. I walked in and I was like, oh my God. I saw my grandfather and I was like, that's cool. You guys probably put that in here just because I'm here. And then I saw myself. That's crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, our topic today has to do with the heavyweight division. Jermaine Franklin's going to be taking on Dillian White this Saturday. And they got everything to lose because you got Eddie Hearn dangling the Matchroom Anthony Joshua, cash cow out there, and saying that the winner gets Anthony Joshua, which leads to millions of dollars. And I figured since you're in studio, you got everything to lose because you carry that Ali name, so everybody's gunning for you. I forget who we were just talking to, but Mini Pac-Man. No, Mini Pac-Man, he was saying it's hard in sparring because since I'm a champion, everybody wants to get off on a champion. And I know you're not a champion, but you deal with that because of your name. Like the Vargases who were in here and said, they want to beat the name out of us, basically. And, so I'm like, you got everything to lose as well because, you are carrying, that name. So you're part of the topic, obviously, man.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be, a part of the topic. The heavyweight boxing is like the pinnacle of boxing. So I think right now, heavyweight boxing is in a good place with Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, Dillian White. Like, these are great guys to watch. So we're in a good space right now. But, yeah, when it comes to everything to lose, that's like story of my life, especially when it comes to boxing.
Absolutely, man. So I want to talk about, obviously, your relationship with your team, your trainers. I feel like, you guys are doing a great job. You're coming along nicely. How do you feel your progression is? And how did you put that team together? Because obviously with your name, I'm sure everybody wanted to train you or would be willing to train you.
Right. Yeah, so I switched trainers a lot, unfortunately, and it wasn't my doing. It was basically there were problems within my original team that was, it was just causing conflict with everyone. But we got that solved, and now I'm with the right team. And it's hard finding the right people because boxing, there's so many scummy people in boxing. I seen it with my grandfather growing up. I've seen it. So like it's tough to find the right people. But right now I'm with the right people.
So who are the people?
I'm with Coach K, Coach Flick. Well, Coach K, boxing fans know Coach K because he's with a lot of the prospects in boxing. He was in Shakur Stevenson's corner many, many times. He's with Troy Isley, Duke Reagan. He's with so many people. He's a guru.
Michaela
Mayer, of course. There's so many people, and if he's not in the corner, he's giving advice outside of the actual fight. So he's everywhere. And he's brilliant with boxing. So I'm with him, Coach K, Coach Flick, Coach Smalls, and then my strength and conditioning trainer is Quincy.
For sure. Yeah, man. K has a lot of good fighters and obviously, a great boxing mind. He's had some dealings, I'll say, with Shakur before I say the wrong thing. Get pop mad.
I don't know nothing about that, by the way. Yeah. I just know he grew up with Shakur. I don't know anything about what's going on right now.
Nah, I mean, I seen K with, Shakur.
Yeah.
But I've seen Pop out with him too. So, it is what it is. Just saying it's a good team. It's a good coach.
Amazing.
I love Flick too, man. He's I feel like he's very hands-on. I'm waiting for, has he had like his own fighter debut, or has he always been under K? And I don't mean that in any disrespect.
No, I think he's on his own with Jarrett Hurd.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. But you know what the thing is I find myself relating with people who are like kind of underdogs. And Flick is a bit of an underdog because he's a young trainer. And young trainers in boxing aren't given the respect they deserve, because you've got like the greatest trainers of all time are old guys. They're old heads who know, obviously, they know what they're talking about. They've been around the block. I get it. They're old and they're smart. But you could be a great young trainer. You're like, I mean, look at Eddie Reynoso. So, but like when people think of boxing trainers, I think they think of like Customato, who's probably one of the greatest of all time, but he's an older guy. But these young trainers, they're coming up.
No, I'm with you, champ. You know, I've been fortunate to be around a lot of legendary trainers, and I'm gonna tell you something. There's something about the old trainers. They're just stubborn. You get what I'm saying? It's like you see this young trainer, and you're telling him, "Hey, your fighter's doing this wrong," but it's like that one thing is what they're best at, and they're, you know, one of the best in the game. I'm like. So, and I've asked trainers, I'm like, so you don't see this style working at all under any circumstances? And they've told me no. And I'm like,
right.
You know, there's like this world champion, and it's like they're just stubborn. So I'm with you.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And I think that's wrong with anybody, but especially I know nothing about training fighters at all. But I do know I'm an excellent learner. And what I learn with is that when a trainer sees that a fighter can't fight a certain style, they let them fight their style. I love that. That's what my team's allowing me to do now. That's what Flick allows me to do. He lets me fight my style. He corrects, you know, certain things, but like my grandfather, for example, what if he had a trainer that said fight like Mike Tyson, or like train that peekaboo style? It would not have worked. It just would not have worked. So
I mean, your grandfather traditionally didn't fight correct. So
right.
If he
fought wrong.
Exactly.
But it worked.
Exactly. If he had that trainer to be there to say, hey, pick up your hand, then he wouldn't probably move as well as he did, or jab off the back foot how he did. And, you know, he was
so pretty on his
feet.
feet.
You gotta have the right people. And I remember hearing when I was little, I saw an interview of Angelo Dundee talking about my grandfather saying when I would tell him to put his hands up, he got hit more. And I didn't understand that as a kid, but I 100% understand that now. You just got to have the right person telling you to do the right things.
So what's going on with this? Is this MMA thing real, or is that like a typo on the internet?
Oh, that's my brother. My brother just turned amateur in MMA. So he's got his third amateur MMA fight coming up. That's what that is. Some people
but they're saying making a PFL debut.
Yeah, he's the first amateur in the PFL. Yes.
Congrats to your brother.
Thank
I
you,
was nervous, though.
Who?
I thought it was you. I'm like, damn, man, we lost one.
I would never do MMA.
And I'm going to be honest with you, champ, no disrespect.
Yes.
I knew about your brother way before I knew about you.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Is it because of the MMA?
Football.
He played football for all throughout high school. They went undefeated in high school.
Bishop Gorman, man. I've never
Fun
been
times.
I just went this past season. I've never been to a high school game, Ness, where they had valet. Like, you walk up and see nothing but Ferraris and Lambos and Rolls Royces.
Yeah, they were nuts.
Flav was there. And
everyone was there. Flav was there. Snoop Dogg was there. Dana White would show up sometimes. Conor McGregor showed up. There were stars at those games. It's crazy.
Yeah, typically you would only see that in high school basketball, but I feel like Bishop Gorman brought them out. And obviously your brother was, I'd say, the star of the team during his reign there.
Definitely.
So I definitely knew of your brother. So when I saw that, you know, I was, obviously excited because it's like from the gridiron to the cage, you know, and with you being in the ring, you know, a bit of everything. What were your thoughts? I'm sure you guys had a conversation prior to his announcement. What were your thoughts on the move for your brother?
You know, he loves MMA. He got into it not too long ago, so he's just forging his own path now with it. And yeah, I mean during COVID and stuff, like I would hold the mitts for him and that kind of thing. That's when he got into it. That's when he first like picked it up. So yeah, no, it's exciting to see where it'll go. MMA for me, I would personally never do it. I'm like a one-trick pony. I find one thing I love and I stick with that forever. And so I found boxing young and I never wanted to do anything else.
So I wanted to take you back, obviously, to your last fight. It was in Madison Square Garden.
Yes. It was in the Hulu Theater of Madison Square Garden. Yes.
And about a month now, no, it was October 29th, you fought Billy Wagner. What was your thoughts going into that fight? When exactly did you know your opponent's name?
So when it comes to opponents, I don't even think about their name. I think about their face. So it wasn't till a couple weeks before the fight that I actually knew his name.
So no tape.
No tape we were watching.
Okay.
But the name didn't matter. Like, because Coach K would pull up the tape. Coach K is the man. He he's got everything planned. He had, his notes out and everything. But yeah, no, we watched the tape, the little tape that we could find. And I didn't know his name till a couple weeks leading up to the fight when I had to do interviews and whatnot. But going into the fight, I knew he was extremely tough. And he fought his only 2 losses before me were to top guys. So
Javier Martinez and Alexis Espino.
Yes. And yeah, so I knew he was going to be tough. And I was looking forward to it.
So first round, how would you say? I felt like that was a round for you.
Yeah.
Were you happy with your performance in that first?
I was extremely happy with the first round. Yeah, no, the first round I opened up a cut on his like nose bridge to eye or somewhere along that area, and the blood started trickling out from him after that. I knew with this fight, it was my first 6-round fight. I didn't want to go for the knockout. I didn't want to be known for knockout. It's hard to like get out of that. Like when people start recognizing you for knockouts, it's almost like they don't
expect it.
Yeah, it's expected, and then they think you can't go the distance. So before I even got in the ring, I said to myself, I would love to do 6 rounds of just pure boxing. I would love it. And
first fight I heard okay with overtime.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, if you look at some fighters that just knock out everybody, look at my dude Edgar Berlanga, for example. He knocked out everyone in the first round, like his first 16 fights. People don't give him the respect he deserves for what he's done to this point. Like they say he can't go the distance. He can. But it's hard to get out of that. So it's like a double-edged sword with that. Like if you're knocking out everyone expects you to knock out people, and then if you don't knock them out, they'll see that fight as like a loss a little bit, and it's stupid.
Absolutely, man. Second round, again,
Yes.
I feel like you were dominating. He kind of came out on the back foot.
Let me tell you what happened in the second round. At the end of the second round, he landed 2 right hands. Like the closing seconds of the second round. And then once he landed those 2 right hands, I was pissed because I was like, the crowd loves to see someone like me get hit. Like they want to see action. So I was just pissed. I walked to my corner pissed. So after that, every single round after that, I started just moving way more than usual. And it's unfortunate with me that sometimes I got to get hit to move my head.
What did you think of that third? Would you score it for yourself? Have you watched this fight back?
No, I've watched the fight multiple times. The third round, I would say the third round would be the closest round. If I could give him a round, I'll give him the third round. If I could give him a round, I'll give him the third round. Because the closing seconds of the second round, he only had the closing seconds. He didn't have the full second round. But the third round, I'll give him. Third round.
When did you figure out that the left hook was the money shot? It felt like it landed. Okay.
The first round, because the first round is when I opened that cut on his nose bridge, and it was with the left hook. I threw a left hook and then a jab. And so I knew it was the left hook. I was trying to not throw a lot of right hands in that fight, which may have been wrong, but I didn't want to be known for just one thing. I didn't want to be known for just right hands. So I was trying to throw a lot more jabs and a lot more hooks, just a lot with my left. So yeah, I knew the left hook was the punch.
I guess it's not dangerous. Like, I would literally normally ask, do you think that that's dangerous, to play with your food, go 6, pull back from the knockout, do what the matchmaker's not expecting? Because for the matchmaker now, like, I'm sure Bruce and, they thought you probably were going to stop this guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, so I wouldn't say I was holding back on the knockout. I wouldn't want to say that. I definitely tried to knock him out, but when I saw the opportunity, I would. He's tough. Like, he's got a chin. So I couldn't knock him out. Like, I did try. I wasn't trying the whole time because I didn't want to get crazy. You start winging shots if you're trying to knock the dude out the entire fight, you're gonna look insane.
Sure.
It's gonna look like a street fight. I wanted to look beautiful in there, so I was waiting for the moments, and then when I saw the moments, I was landing good shots. But he's tough.
So you've been out almost a month, not quite yet. Yes. Obviously, not back on the TO card because that's too soon. So are you just off for the rest of the year for sure?
Yes, no. So I'm 100% not fighting for the rest of this year, but Bruce Shoo Carrington is on the TO card, and a lot of my other friends are on the TO card. So I'll be at that fight. I'm every time someone comes to Vegas, I join their camp. So I'm constantly in camp. So I'll be in camp, so to speak, for that fight.
With Shushu?
No, Shu's going to be training in Houston with Jared Anderson. So
okay.
But I will be at that fight, and I try not to get out of shape at all. So, like, right now, I'm still in shape.
So, someone I'm assuming you spar with, we just brought them up, the Vargases.
Yes.
He's got a big fight on the Cepeda Regis pay-per-view.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on, his fight? Obviously, I'm sure you know him because the guy fought a top-ranked fighter. Mm-hmm. Not really top-ranked fighter, but, Edgar Belanga's boy, what's my Dominican friend's name? Pablo Valdez.
Pablo.
Yeah.
Undefeated Pablo.
Which Vargas are we talking about? Are we talking about Junior? Yes. So Junior and his brother have.
Wait, so you sparred Emiliano too? Because I thought he
no,
was like.
I did. No. I thought
that would have ruled it out.
No. I've only sparred Junior, and no, all the Vargas they're my people because they understand, legacy and that whole thing. So those are my dudes, and he's got a fight coming up, and they work hard. So the biggest thing in my eyes is what you do in the gym. That shows up. What happens in the camp happens in the fight, and these guys are always working. So they're gonna do great. He's gonna look great this weekend.
So I had a couple. I've never done this before, but I had a couple things. I'm gonna say a word or two, and I want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh, this is exciting.
So it's this word association game.
Okay, so I didn't know that it had a name. Okay, yeah, word association. So I'm gonna start with essence.
Oh God. So I did a thing with this company called Essence, and they did a collab with Versace. So I just shot a Versace ad. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. And Coach K was with me for that, by the way.
I saw that. I
Yes.
saw that. He was also with you, which was the next phrase that I was gonna say. Ken Block.
Ken Block. Oh my God. So
Yo, you don't even know. I wish like I could afford to bring my best friend is the hugest Ken Block fan.
Really?
Like what? And when I seen you did that, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could bring him. But I didn't even know when you did it. Was that like in the middle of the night? Because you guys shut down the street, right?
That was crazy. So Flick and Coach K were there for that. That was they. So Hoonigans, which is Ken Block's like thing, they do like racing videos and all that. They did a collab with Everlast. I'm signed with Everlast, so that was my way in. And man, we were in the ring, and Ken Block was drifting his car and hitting heavy bags outside of the ring on top of the palms. So that was crazy. Yeah, it was late at night.
That's insane. No,
was wild.
he's an amazing driver. Like,
He's an awesome dude.
Did you drive like off camera with him?
Yes. I hopped in his car. We drifted. I never thought I'd be afraid to be in a car. I was afraid.
What does he drive? What did he drive out here?
It was an electric car.
And he drifted in an electric
He
car.
was drifting in an electric car. And
Holy smokes. I'm telling you, he's one of the best though.
no, I'm scared of like electric cars now because like they're fast. If you think about it, like I know normal
It has
cars.
to be the Porsche then.
No, I think
It
I think it's an Audi because he's an Audi partner.
Okay.
It was I don't know cars. I just know that if it's electric, it can start. Like I think of like the speed of light. That's what it was like in being in that car. It started and it was like being in a rocket ship. It was crazy. It was crazy.
What was your thoughts when they first like reached out to you?
Everlast reached out to me and they said, "Hey, would you be open to doing this thing?" And I said, "Yes, I'm open to anything."
So you knew him right away. You knew the name.
Oh, I knew Ken Block, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not a racing guy, but I know Ken Block.
Yeah.
Champ. Are
Yeah.
you a Netflix guy?
I'm a Netflix guy, yep.
Okay. Now I am not, right?
Okay.
And I've been on record and off record saying that I am not a Netflix guy, right?
Okay.
So I definitely have my parents' account still. But let me tell you.
Oh, well, I've got my mom's account, so.
Let me tell you, if you find the time, because I'm sure you have like a list of shows that you want to get to. Because I'm not a racing guy, but I watched the Formula One Drive to Survive show.
Really?
And I am hooked. I'm talking about I have
Is this
looked.
deja vu?
What is that?
Formula One?
You guys were the same engineers yesterday, or are we in the freaking time capsule? This guy's gonna do this again?
No. Just because he had that experience with Ken.
He came
He
out
loves
of
the show?
somehow he's a
Champ.
NASCAR or
No.
whatever it is.
Formula One. Those guys are different.
What's
champ.
the show called?
It's called. If you type in Formula One, it'll come up. It's Formula One Drive to Survive.
Drive to Survive.
And it's
Okay.
it's literally just covering the 20 drivers in their season, but it got me so intrigued that, and TikTok was talking about the races the last couple weeks, so I tuned in, and I didn't know what was really going on until I watched the show, and I'm hooked. I've literally looked into packages to go to the Monte Carlo Grand Prix next year.
Wow. Wow, it's like that?
Yeah, $8 million
No.
packages.
It's like
I want to check out this show.
It's like 4Gs, it's starting at 4Gs for the weekend. But
That's insane.
bro,
Drive to Survive.
these guys are
Drive to Survive.
I'm talking about
Okay.
a different pair of balls. Like you're you're going
The
over
fear level of a race car driver is like, I looked at ESPN's worst sports or like hardest sports. The fear level of all sports, race car is like number one. Or it's at least top two, at least.
Yeah, that's different.
No, it's crazy.
But
You can die.
I know Ken
So-
Block isn't Formula One, but just throwing that out there. But
So are you into speed as well? You drive something fast?
So I'm sponsored by Chop.
Okay.
Shout
shout out to Chop.
I love Chop.
We've been trying to casually bump into him
Yeah, no,
for like a year now.
Chop's my dude. Chop's my dude. He's an amazing guy. I just did
We seen him at Fuel Fest.
Yes,
actually.
we were at Fuel Fest.
I was there.
Yeah, so
I
we
showed
saw-
up for a second.
Yeah, we didn't see you there, but we saw that you were there because we ran into Cash Flow.
Yes.
And actually, Chop was with Tyrese, who we were kind of with.
Right.
So our people invited us. So, it was terrible weather for that event, but it was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was amazing. But yeah, the weather, something happened. Like it was like we were in a dust storm or something. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Did you get to catch some of the drifting?
Someone drove Flav.
Okay.
In because I showed up with Flav.
Okay.
Someone drove a female racer, drove Flav and just started drifting with him. So I got to see that.
Okay.
But it wasn't until the very, very end.
Okay. But anyway, so you're with Chop.
I'm with Chop, and Chop's got me in a Tesla right now, which I absolutely, absolutely love. It's my dream car. I wouldn't want to drive anything else.
No.
So,
Which
and
w-
Teslas are fast.
Which Tesla specifically is your dream car?
This exact one. It's a Model 3. I
Okay.
swear, I'm driving my dream car right now, and I'm.
So that's the car and not the truck, right?
Well, the Cybertruck hasn't actually
no,
came
but
out
not
yet.
that truck. The other truck.
Ooh, the 4-door. You mean with the roof?
The one with the suicide doors Jaden Smith had.
Oh, see, I don't even know nothing about that. There's suicide door Teslas.
Oh yeah.
What? Yeah.
Oh,
I thought they
no.
all were like that.
No, I think just I don't know what model it is, but I do know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden and Will did, Will had got one after his son had one. It was
Really?
pretty dope.
That might be too flashy for me. I'm not really a flash.
It's
guy.
It's
actually-
the Model X.
Yeah, it's actually looks like a minivan, but
no,
it's a
but for the
truck.
doors to open up like that.
Oh no, are they Lamborghini? No, it's suicide. I think they open up like this.
Oh,
No.
okay, my bad, my bad.
No, they open up literally like that.
Oh, so they
oh,
are.
so they do, yeah,
So
that's
they
a little,
are.
That's
Okay.
a little much for me.
But I will say
It's amazing,
No, I was in it actually. Somebody in the boxing world has one,
Okay.
and I was extremely impressed. But I will say it was kind of funny because it was 4 of us in the car. So they had all right, the 2 in the back get out so I can pull into this parking spot because the doors.
Oh,
That is a good point.
Yeah.
So the doors.
That's a good point.
Because some Lambo doors open like bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? So those don't open at all to the side.
No, see, those kind of open at an angle. These just open. They flap open.
Oh,
bro.
that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I
But it
wouldn't
was
be able to-
literally
yeah.
it was I'm gonna tell you who it is off camera. But they were literally like, all right, guys. I was in the front. The 2 guys in the back had to get out so we could.
Yeah,
pull
because
in.
it's like a minivan, but it's sexy.
I'd have to get out the sunroof if I drove a car like that. You wouldn't be able to park like close.
No, you can't because or you're gonna have to go through that. Like make the people in the back seat get out first before pulling into the parking space.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Interesting.
Maybe one day.
What'd you have before the Tesla?
Before the Tesla, I was in an Alfa Romeo.
Okay. So
Italian
now
car,
my
yes.
question to you is, because it hasn't been that many years, before electric cars growing up, what was your dream car? See, because for me, the Hummer, but the one in Joanna Man, that big lifted like army Hummer that they had in Joanna Man.
Don't remember it.
You
I
don't-
do remember the movie Joanna
It-
Man.
it
Don't
got-
remember the Hummer.
Yeah, it got repoed in the beginning, but
Yeah.
Don't remember that.
So I used to want to
interesting.
drive a Hummer. I
Me
used
too.
to until I heard about it like
The
guzzling
gas
gas.
money. Yeah, it's only 11 miles
Yeah, no.
per
So
gallon.
honestly, my dream car growing up was a Charger, a black Charger. I've always wanted to drive a black Charger. That was the first car Chop put me in. So Chop is just just
Been making it happen ever
dreams,
since.
making dreams. So yeah, no, that was my dream car growing up, and then I was like, one day I want to be able to drive a Tesla, and then
There you
now I'm
are.
driving a Tesla.
That's what's up. That's
Yeah,
what's
it's
up.
awesome.
so the last word association for me is just photography.
Wow. So it was just
Photography.
essence and photography.
Well, I didn't know if the essence. No, it was also there
Ken
was
Block.
Ken Block.
Yep.
Ken Block,
Um,
Essence. And
Yeah,
photography.
so I didn't know what exactly it was with Essence because I thought maybe it could have been a deal. So that's why I asked about that. But I do notice just photography to be a thing Is modeling something that catches
Oh
your eye?
no. I could not model. I couldn't.
I'm glad I asked.
Says the guy that's probably gonna end up modeling.
I legit thought, I'm like, yo, you're pushing to walk that runway.
No, no. Listen to this. So with the Versace thing, the Versace asked me. It was before my fight. It was before this last fight. It was during camp, and they asked me. They said, "Listen, you come to LA, same day, fly back. It's a couple hours shoot." I said no. I was like, I'm in camp, so I said no initially, and then I told Coach K about it. I said, "Hey, listen, Versace asked me. I just want to let you know this is how dedicated I am." I said no to Versace because I'm staying in the gym, doing this and that. Coach K basically slapped me.
He's like,
and
no,
was
go
like,
get
no,
that exposure.
You're going to do Versace. And I said, okay, I'm only going to do Versace if you come with. So then they ended up getting Coach K a flight, and it worked out.
So are they gonna do like a throwback to your grandfather's robe via Versace edition for the next fight, or something that they can sell?
Because that was part of your shoot. Was
No,
the gold,
and honestly, I'm
was
gonna
the
tell you
gold
one thing.
Versace
I'm gonna tell you
robe.
one thing though. Whoever you know in Versace, tell them they gotta handle this robe. All right, that robe is. Come on, man. That robe is. It's ripping, man. I'm on my third robe. There's no way
Wait, you got a Versace robe?
He's
you got a Versace robe.
I didn't get a Versace robe.
Come on,
They did
man.
not give me. They did not give me the robe.
You're like friends
What?
with Tyson
They didn't give me
Fury.
the robe.
You did a photo shoot and you didn't get the robe.
I did not
So,
get the robe,
you-
guys. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I did not get the robe.
That's
I got
because
the
they're
underwear.
making
I would hope you get the underwear.
Yeah, I got the underwear. I mean, because if they took back the underwear, then I'd be like, guys.
Nah,
Come on.
man. I think that robe is made out of like fucking cherry cloth, man. First,
Terry cloth.
my red one ripped. I stretched for the coffee at the cat. I said, "Oh my god!"
Well, you're a
I
big
said-
dude. You gotta
Yo,
get a different. You gotta get a
Nico,
custom robe.
I have not thrown it away. I refuse to throw
Yo,
it
Don't.
I
away.
know
Don't.
somebody that'll sew that shit up.
I
champ.
Yeah.
refuse to throw it away. Right?
Don't throw it away.
Bought another one. My girl bought me because she seen I was just devastated.
Why are you hulking these robes?
No, I mean
need
I'm
a
old
spandex
now.
robe.
I'm old. What else do old people wear besides robes and sweatpants? Yo, I was with Kid, totally off topic, but I was with Wiz Khalifa the other day. He's like, I'm in my 35s. I'm in my sweatpant age. You know, I just want to be comfortable, and it's true, man. You're pretty comfortable in them joggers, I bet.
I've been in that sweatpants age since I was about 13. I'm in that age. I'm learning fashion. I'm trying to get my fashion up because
See, I took being comfortable for granted. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get into this comfortable stage probably till like last year. And the only reason why, champ, is because I got too fucking fat to fit any of my other clothes.
yeah.
And you know, I was like, yo. And then it came to the point where I'm like, I can't. Like, I had to go shop. I legit had to go shopping because I'm like, all I have is sweatpants. But it was so beautiful.
What's the heaviest you've ever been? Like before boxing?
Oof.
I was a chubby kid. I was a fat kid. I was a chubby kid. I was fat. I was fat. No, I was
Watch,
fat when I was little.
He's
I
like,
was.
Yeah, I was 165.
No. I was as an amateur. I was 178 as an amateur, and I'm
How
talking
tall?
5'10".
Come on, that's not
5'9"?
fat.
I was fat. I'm gonna show you a picture. I'm gonna show you guys a picture. I was big.
5'10",
Champ,
175.
let me
No,
tell you
I
something.
said 178.
Let me tell you something.
3 more pounds.
I'm 5'10". I got up to 260 this year.
No,
Listen,
he's
guys.
huge.
I was a kid. That's not
That's fair.
normal.
That's fair.
And that was in shape weight. Like that's after training. Like I was I'm gonna show you a photo. I was a fat kid. I was. And boxing just slimmed me down, but more than anything, because I didn't eat bad. It was my height. I just got taller and everything kind of just fell in place. Yeah.
I got a couple questions here from the people before we wrap up. Ruin the 504 New Orleans. He says, what's been your mindset heading into your first 6-rounder with Wagner?
My mindset was I was truthfully, I was nervous to see if I could handle the endurance of 6 rounds. Looking back at it now, I'm upset that I was nervous about that because after 6 rounds, I wasn't even breathing hard. Like I was ready to go 15 rounds, like back in the Manila days. So yeah, that was my mindset. I was just ready. We ran so much. I was training like Mike Tyson that camp.
Do you ever swim? Is swimming at all?
Yes, it's terrible. It's awful. But yeah, no, we do swim.
Why is it awful?
Because it's like if you're not strong enough to keep paddling, you'll drown, and then everything hurts. It hurts every part of your body. It's amazing for you. It's amazing. Coach K's got us doing that, but it's just it's not fun.
I don't know that it's on your Instagram, but I swear
I didn't post any swimming because
So I was gonna say, I swear I've seen a picture of you doing the reenactment of your grandfather underwater.
That was Top
Okay.
Rank. Yeah, so Top Rank shot some footage, not from my last fight, but the fight before last. They shot footage of me swimming, and it's no joke. It's like what my grandfather did. Like in my grandfather's photo, he was underwater shadow boxing. That's literally what we're doing. I shadow box underwater. Like that's the whole point. It's like it slows down your punches and it builds speed. So swimming's amazing for you. It's just not fun.
Well, I got Brandon in Houston that says, who is the most impressive fighter you've seen in action at the Top Rank gym?
The first person that came to mind, there's 2, but the first person that came to mind is Devin. Devin Haney. But Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson are the 2 most talented fighters I've seen come into Top Rank. They are just crazy, crazy talented. But I was watching Devin spar. He had a closed off gym, and since I've known Devin and his father since I started boxing, my first ever boxing gym was their gym. So they allowed me to come into the closed session, and I got to watch him spar, which I haven't seen since I was a kid. And he's just he's a super talent. So him and Shakur Stevenson.
And you're basing that off sparring.
I'm basing that off of sparring and the way Devin trains. But you can hear in interviews his IQ. I value a fighter's ring IQ more than almost anything. So the 2 things in a fighter that I value the most is their ring IQ and their discipline, which a lot of fighters don't have. And it's tough to find a fighter that's got both. And when you do find a fighter like that, they'll become undisputed, like Devin.
And that's why I doubled back. I wanted to hear that because I didn't have to see him spar to know that he was special. I had to see him train. I've never seen anyone train like that. Just like now, I can say I've never seen anyone train like Jared Anderson. Like I've never seen a heavyweight train like that. Like
right.
Unless you're talking Tyson Fury, and I have to find out if I'm right about this, but I feel like I've seen Tyson once with ankle weights, but
really?
I know Jared wears ankle weights, and there's no other heavyweights that are doing that, and everything else that he does. He trains like he's a 60 or a 47 pounder, which heavyweights don't normally do. That being said, Devin, when I seen him train, I'm just like, whoa.
He's got the right people around him. I mean, his dad is like, I think his dad is like the brains behind it all, and he's the right person.
Absolutely.
So you got to have the right people. You got to have the right people.
Absolutely.
It's funny. You brought the dad up. He texted me today and said, where do I want the Loma fight? Where would you want Devin Loma to take place
I would
at?
love for that fight to take place in Saudi Arabia. Okay?
That's what we thought was going to happen.
No, that's not close. That's not
what we said, Dubai?
No, Abu Dhabi.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Somewhere in the Middle East.
I'm with you, champ. Matter of fact, I'm going to come high five you because I'm
wow.
Please.
Oh, my God. He's such a Devin and Tank fan, this guy.
Listen,
can't forget Shakur.
If it happens in the Middle East is the new mecca of boxing in my era. Like the Middle East, they're taking over. So if it happens in the Middle East, that fight will be huge. It'll do amazing numbers, and
I think the
Yeah,
Middle
that'd be
East is starting to become the mecca of sports mega events.
I just forgot.
They're trying to be the new Vegas.
The World Cup. The World
The
Cup.
World Cup's
is
in
the Middle
Qatar.
East. Yeah, it's
and
in
champ,
Qatar.
let me tell you, I was in Qatar in 2018 and 2020. So obviously 18, they've already been under construction like 5-6 years, getting everything. That country had no business. They were not ready, but the money that they have behind it, it's hard to deny them. It's legit hard to deny the Middle East right now. And they're literally pumping everything into these big events. And it's great to see. And I think it's deserving for the athletes to now be put on a stage that we haven't seen before. And I'm going to be honest with you. For Devin, he's the A side. He's an undisputed fighter. I think it'd be beautiful for the Muslim community to get something out there in the Middle East.
Devin is my Muslim brother. And honestly, everyone's asking me, where's my dream place to fight? My dream place to fight over the moon would be somewhere in the Middle East. I would love, love, love to fight in the Middle East.
So basically, you want on the undercard.
If that happens, and I'm not there, it would be a travesty.
Yeah.
It would be awful. But I think if that fight happens in the Middle East, I don't see any scenario where I wouldn't be somehow involved. Because the Middle East loves my grandfather. My mom has gone over there so many times, and the love they've showed for the family is just insane. So I'm sure they'd love to have me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did your mother not have a trip to the Middle East, like your fight week, your last fight?
Yeah, that wasn't fight week. That was like so she went to Jeddah,
Which is in Saudi Arabia.
yes. And then she flew same day that she landed in Jeddah. She flew back to California. Not my last fight, but the fight before last.
Okay.
She made it to my fight about 10 minutes before I walked out. So it was a quick trip. She was a monster for just traveling like that.
I just want to put things into perspective. That's approximately about a 15-hour flight from California. So.
Awful.
So
I would not have been able to do that.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah,
I mean,
big shout out.
She wasn't missing your fight apparently.
No, she was. She made it a point not to miss. There was so much drama with that. Like she had to fly back. Then we had to get a plane chartered from L.A. because I was in San Diego, not in L.A. So then she flew on a mini private plane from L.A. to San Diego. It was an expensive trip getting my mom to my fight, but she had to be there. She has to be at every single fight.
Yeah, I would definitely love for you to be on that undercard, especially if it's, in the Middle East.
I would love to. And the Middle East has a special place in my heart.
So the next one is from our producer who cut an intro and he wants you to hear it. I don't know if you're going to make it through the whole minute and 40, but
Brandon sent a minute and 40.
Brian, make sure that we got audio.
He's a savage. He's an animal.
Mike Tyson.
He's a different breed of person. It's not like us.
Why is he ducking George Foreman? He's already a tramp. He ain't no champ. Around here jiving, making a business out of it. I'm a champion. I fight everybody every month. All of them, bar none.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I kept telling him he had no punch. He couldn't hit. He's swinging like a sissy. He's missing. Let me see your box. I hadn't started dancing yet.
He talks too much. He's ugly. He's pretending. I'm the true champion, and they make me the underdog. I'm gonna show them all they're wrong.
Muhammad Ali didn't have a lot of muscles. He wasn't all that strong. This man's presence, you could hit him where you hit everyone else, but he was not willing to fall. He was not willing to be counted out.
I haven't convinced these suckers yet. I destroyed George Foreman. I destroyed Joe Frazier.
Because I'm the champion. I'm the real champion.
We're going to send you the rest so you could run to it, but there was no one to talk shit like your grandfather. Let's be real.
I was thinking he's so loud.
Even Broner, who did a good job, you got to be able to back it up. That's the thing. And Broner did that for a while and until he couldn't. But man, his grandfather could talk some shit. I love the one when he's like, I'm so fast. Turn the light switch.
He was in the
Yeah.
bed before the room was dark. Yeah.
Yeah, man. He could think of some great stuff.
Yeah, he's
Listen,
smart.
got a few more for you.
Let's do it.
Canna, all the way in Nebraska, says, "Hey Nico, thanks for coming on the show. Regarding your stated mindset of proving you can go the distance, is this something you will be looking to do going forward?" That's because he's a pathological bettor. He wants to make sure it's like, Nico's in his
wanna
distance
know.
phase. We're betting on distance. We're betting the over.
I don't know. I mean, it all depends on. I'm the type of guy that if I do it one time, then I'm like I'm good. So I will never be looking for knockouts every single fight. That's never gonna happen. But if I see my opponent hurt, then I will go for the knockout. So I don't know if that helps with betting, but that's my style.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Tim.
don't worry
You
about
just
it.
fight your fight.
Yeah. Victor Banuelos, what are your 3 favorite fights of all time you love to watch?
Okay. So I'm not gonna place my grandfather in that because my grandfather would take the 3, probably. So I love watching Canelo Triple G.
Which one?
That's tough, but I'm gonna say number 2. So Canelo Triple G, I love watching. Who's Mayweather and Corrales.
Okay.
Mayweather and Corrales.
Great
Love watching
fight.
that.
Great fight.
And what would be my third?
Corrales
I'm
was-
thinking of fights that I watch like on repeat.
Man, I don't even do that. Do you do that?
I think Mayweather De La Hoya is
How many
probably.
times you watched it?
I've watched it at least 24 times. Like
When's the last time you watched it?
Ooh, the last time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you
being
know
in the
how
bus-
hard it is to watch a fight 2 times?
Being in the business now, yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, champ. If I ain't see you, if I ain't watch it live, it's
Now, I
hard.
always go back because I love to talk about it. See, he doesn't do Sunday show. I do Sunday where I recap the weekend.
Right.
And even if I'm at your fight, I need to go back and watch it because I want to hear what Bradley said or I want to hear what Sergio Mora said.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes they be out of control. Nah, for real. I mean,
You're right.
who was it?
You
I
know
think-
Bradley's been critical of you.
Oh, super. That's why Bradley's my dude.
But it's motivating, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I would take
yeah.
it as motivation. I'm going to fucking show this guy.
If he was a hater, I would not take it as
I
motivation.
mean, he's a bit of a hater.
So
He's not.
He swears
he's not, I
Earl
promise.
Spence is ducking. He swears
Oh, I don't
up
know
and
about
down
that.
Earl Spence
He's
is
not a
ducking
hater
Crawford.
of me. He's not a hater of me.
No, he's a bit of a hater.
So, but I am glad that
But
we
I like
brought
him.
that he did come in because I wanted to. I did have another. What's the shit
You're
called?
all
Word
over.
association.
Okay, which one?
And I don't know if your grandfather ever spoke to you about him or if you've ever heard stories, but Howard Cosell.
That's a great one. Real quick, De La Hoya and Mayorga was my third fight.
Oh, wow.
Repeat. But
I watched
Howard
that.
Cosell, hilarious. Their fake feud, like their relationship was hilarious. The first thing that comes to mind is when I was a little kid, I watched a video of Howard Cosell wishing my grandfather happy birthday on my grandfather's like 50th or something I don't know. But he wished him happy birthday and he was getting teary-eyed. And I was like, "Oh my God, that's crazy." And it's crazy to see how they feuded with each other during his whole career, and then he was actually, crying for him in his later years. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. Awesome relationship though. I love those kind of relationships.
Do you think you'll build a relationship like that with, I don't know, a broadcaster or a sports journalist?
Like that? I don't know. It would have to come naturally. But they were both just so witty.
I think
and funny.
like that is so hard.
Yeah,
I
very.
mean, you're talking about like top 3, top 5 like those kind of relationships.
Yep.
Even forget sports, even like just between a media member. Like my uncle, he sends me clips all the time. He's like, "You got to watch Howard because he did this amazingly. He was great at that."
Mm-hmm.
So that relationship, I think, was definitely once in a lifetime. or very hard
See,
to
but
come by.
the beauty of that relationship for the fighters that watch this interview is that your grandfather was okay with Howard criticizing him.
Yeah.
This generation, if I say, damn, Nico can't keep his fucking right hand up. I was too critical. I'm not allowed to watch you train anymore.
It's like
chill, man.
they get I don't want to say soft. They get there's a word.
Sensitive.
There's a word.
It's sensitive.
It's sensitive, but there's a word. What is the word?
Emotional.
Sensitive. I think it's sensitive. They're very sensitive. Very sensitive. I am not whatsoever. So if someone says Nico gets hit with too many right hands, I'm like, okay, I'll listen to you, and then we'll talk about it. I will never be getting sensitive like that. It's not gonna happen. And my grandfather was the same way. He was just so secure. Insecure.
Insecure. That's right.
There's a lot of insecurity in sports, especially with like men and their egos. There's a lot of insecurity. So I'm not insecure. So if someone wants to say something that's not disrespectful, then we'll talk about it.
New York Bullet says, "What's good, champ? Funny thing is, my question was what was your favorite 3 fights by your grandfather?"
Okay,
So,
that's a good one. So number 1 is Rumble in the Jungle. Rumble in Jungle is number 1. That's the fight I watched with him all the time. Sentimental value. Number 2, I would say, is Thrilla in Manila. That's got to be in the top 3 greatest fights of all time, I believe. And then the third one will be him and Cleveland Williams. Those are my top 3.
never watched that one.
I think it's fair to ask just because you're big on it. I know a big thing, or from what I've heard, a big thing with you guys was movies.
Huge.
What was some of the movies that you guys would watch, maybe on repeat, just like the fights? Was there ever a movie maybe around the holidays that you guys would sit down and watch together?
There wasn't a movie on repeat, but there was a movie we would always talk about. So my family is big on horror. Like we would force him to watch some scary movies, but it brings like the emotions out. Like nothing's better than being able to like jump and be afraid when watching a movie. So that's fun. But the number 1 movie that we would watch and always talk about was King Kong. It was Peter Jackson's King Kong, and it came out in theaters. And my grandfather actually came with us to the theater to watch the movie, and that was the best movie. We talk about that still to this day because my grandfather loved that movie.
Did you watch the latest King Kong?
I did.
What'd you think?
It was cool. I think I'm one of those old heads that's like, oh, it'll never be like the old one because, but I watched it with my grandfather, so it's got like sentimental value to me, and I don't know. It was cool. It was good.
I'm not a movie head, but wasn't there one before the Peter Jackson one?
Yeah. Wait.
Like old?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean? Oh, no.
There was an old.
There's been
old
2
one.
since that. There's been King Kong, and then I think Skull Island or some shit like that.
Skull Island happened after Peter Jackson's, and then after that, it was Godzilla and King Kong.
Okay,
That's
okay.
right.
And I've seen both. We watch movies. That's what we do.
So I'm assuming you have already seen Wakanda Forever.
Of course I've seen it.
Did you cry though?
I didn't cry, but it
What?
was very
Damn.
sad. It was very sad.
You ain't get tearied at all.
No.
Damn, Nico.
I didn't, but my family loves Chadwick Boseman. I think he was an amazing person. It's so sad to see, like that he had cancer for like years
And never
didn't
said
say
anything.
nothing to no one.
Nope.
And it makes me wish that I wish he would have said something because he looked really thin at one point, and there were people online making fun of him. And I was like, that's why you don't make fun of people because you never know
What's going on in someone's life,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, that
champ,
was
it's
tough one.
hard at that level because it's like everybody's in your business.
Everyone's in your business, and I get it.
Like you got to think about it.
He was
for
a private
him,
person. I respect
For
that.
him, he was the biggest too. So it's like, sometimes you just
That
want that
movie
peace.
took him next level too.
Yeah, it's just sad to see someone suffer in silence like that. But My mom cried. My cousin cried. I think everyone in the theater cried, and I was just like, you know, it was a great farewell movie. Like they paid homage very well.
Did you see Black Adam?
Oh my God, I did not see Black
What?
Adam. I did not see Black Adam.
So you're not a Dwayne Johnson fan?
I'm a huge Dwayne Johnson fan. He was super. I met
That
him,
might
and he
be
was
his
super
best
cool.
project
Really?
ever in his fucking life,
What?
man.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, does he have a better movie than Hobbs? I mean, not even Hobbs, like being the cop in Fast and Furious? Like, really, what else are we going to remember The Rock for? Other
Rock is
than
hilarious.
wrestling, then he crossed over to acting, but his biggest movie
What
is
about-
Fast and the Furious. He got a spinoff. Like, that's literally his biggest movie.
Okay, so when they invited me to see
you
Black
wanna-
Adam, I was already in a movie. I was already in a movie theater. Coach K, Flick, and all of them went
Crazy.
to go see Black Adam, but I was already in a theater when they said, "Hey Nico, do you want to go see a movie?" I was already watching another.
That's the movie you invite your friends that don't like superhero movies
and you turn them on to him.
because he kills
See,
in a bad way.
that's
Okay,
crazy.
He's
I'm
like,
gonna watch Black Adam.
That's
now.
crazy
I'ma
though,
watch
because
that.
now I just question like our friendship, bro. Because you never invited me to watch Black Adam.
Bro, that
That's
shit is
messed
old
up.
already, bro. That has to be like a month old, man. Check it out. It's like old already. That's why I'm shocked he hasn't watched it. But people are already complaining, and I was gonna mention that for The Rock, if you want to talk about his, I don't know, showing his acting chops, right? Because as a wrestler who's a bodybuilder, you obviously expect him to play an action role, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. All his
Right.
roles was action. So yeah, did he show a softer side in Gridland Gangs or whatever the fuck? I did cry in that shit too, because that was a story, you know, close to home. Did you watch that? No.
Oh, I can't
Jesus
say that
Christ,
I
you
have.
neither. Jesus
Listen,
Christ.
listen.
You neither.
I'm a rock fan.
Bro.
I'm a rock fan. I'm going to see. I'm
you
watching
didn't
Black
watch
Adam.
Gridland Gangs.
I didn't.
Bro, he
sorry.
plays like, and it's a true story. He plays like some counselor that takes over this detention center and creates a football team and gives these guys so. Bro, I cried like a fucking.
I don't like.
Bro, I
I'm
was
not
like,
a football
oh.
fan. I'm not a football
Me
fan.
neither.
So anytime,
But
my favorite
he did
football
his
movie
thing.
was The Longest Yard.
Okay, okay.
But since
doesn't
we're
that have
talking-
Nelly in it?
It sure does.
Yo, hold on. Who are you? You talking about The Rock? It doesn't even show up. What's this movie called?
Gridland Gangs, man. Let me see. Yeah, bro.
Oh, Gridiron Gang.
Gridiron. Okay, I'm saying it wrong.
Bro, that shit old as hell.
I'm just telling you,
Wait.
it's a.
You just
can't-
said it came out a month
Wait, the
ago.
Gridiron
No,
Gang?
Black Adam came out a month
Oh.
ago. This guy's all over the place. You
So-
ruining this.
Black. I'm going to see Black Adam 100% because
I don't,
there's no better review than what you just
and-
gave.
No, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I might. We're short on time, bro. But The Rock had, bro, Jumanji. I don't even like that kind of
come
shit.
on.
Listen.
Moana?
Jumanji was good.
Moana changed the culture,
I didn't see Moana.
Moana.
bro. Those songs were playing for years.
You talking about the Jumanji song?
No. He wasn't really. It was a cartoon, but he was
Yeah,
the
the
voice.
little the surfing cartoon.
Yes.
Is an island guy.
Yeah, that's Moana.
Bro, knock it off, man. And that's animation. We talking about showing your fucking chops as an actor. And especially for him,
Jumanji
it's
was
like,
fun.
It's like
Central
for you,
Intelligence, he
for
showed
you,
his chops.
For you're gonna need.
And the game plan, bro. He was so soft. The
game plan.
where he was
did see that.
he found out he was a dad. He was a star football player living the star life.
The little girl.
And
that shit was straight to DVD, bro. Get that out of here,
man,
bro.
you tripping. That was a good
Bro,
movie.
that shit got zero promotion. What the hell is that?
That's an older one. It was a
Nah.
Disney film.
Bro, that
if
was
I remember
Netflix
correctly.
before Netflix. He found that on MySpace.
No, bro, I remember that. Look, 4.7 stars.
Oh wow! Shout out. I never
Out of
heard of
what?
that. I never heard of
I'm making
Is
sure.
that a-
I'm making sure.
He's right. He's right. That's
No.
on IMDb. That got 10 stars. That's a shit movie.
No, 4.7 out of 5.
Oh wow. Okay,
It's out of 5.
I watched that movie when I was a little kid. Respect. The game
bro.
plan.
Black Adam.
I'm going to see Black Adam.
Fire.
And just real quick, I gotta say, because you're talking about movies that made you cry. I don't want you to think I'm a robot. I cried when I saw Ghost.
Oh my
Patrick
God!
Swayze.
Who
No, but
doesn't
listen,
cry
but listen,
from Ghost?
but listen.
You're gonna pick an all-time
okay, you did
like
too? Okay,
favorite, bro.
That's what I cried with. I cried
Bro,
with Ghost.
Ghost. I mean, it's sad because I know my kids won't even know what Ghost is. Danny probably never watched fucking Ghost. Shout out to you for watching Ghost,
Shout out
man.
to-
You're
I'm
22.
a film guy. I'm a film.
guy's
I'm a
22,
film
he
dude.
watched
I'm a
Ghost.
film dude. I watch the classics. I watch the
Whoopi
classics.
Goldberg is amazing
Whoopi
in
Goldberg
that movie.
is amazing.
He's never gonna know who's Whoopi.
Her-
You don't
she-
know who's
her
Whoopi?
name-
Bro, I know Whoopi.
Her
I know
name was
Whoopi.
Oda Mae Brown in
I
that
know.
movie.
I've never seen Ghost, but I know Whoopi from Sisters
sad.
Act.
Okay, sister.
And that's an old ass movie.
Yeah, that's old.
That's before I came
should-
out my mom.
She was Whoopi Goldberg was amazing in Ghost. Patrick Swayze was amazing. Was it Demi Moore?
Yes.
Debbie Moore was amazing.
Nah, Demi.
Demi Moore was amazing.
But no, that was a crazy movie
That's
too,
my
man.
movie. That's my movie.
I hope they don't remake it, but
I
I am a
swear
king
they-
of remakes. I'm honest with you.
you like remakes?
because I want them to bring them up to date. Like,
Okay,
I get
but
it, but
would you
Ghost,
guys?
no, you don't do
Okay, because you said Patrick Swayze.
Yep.
So he was in the remake of Dirty Dancing, which
Yeah.
was hella long later. Would you
Yeah.
be okay if is he still alive?
No,
I don't know.
No, he passed away many years
Damn,
ago.
yeah,
and, and, that,
2009.
and Dirty
shit.
Dancing is a classic. You've never watched it either. You don't
The
have
first
the time.
one. No, I didn't even know.
You never watched Dirty Dancing Havana Nights.
No, I've only.
Of course
seen,
you didn't.
Havana Nights.
Look at
He
it.
didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I don't even
Bro,
know what that is.
They made that movie in Cuba, right? Google it. I'm pretty sure they did that in Cuba
they
somehow.
They got into Cuba in 04.
That was
Really?
crazy. Back then. I'm telling you, no.
See, we could have a whole discussion on movies because I watch classics, but I only watch
Look at
the
these
good
tough
movies.
guys in the chat. I never cried in any movie.
No, you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. You're gonna cry if you watch a movie with something that you care about. That's it.
I mean,
That's
got
it.
if you didn't cry in what was the name? I'm saying it wrong. I thought it was Gridland Gangs. What is it?
Gridiron Gang.
Gridiron
Gridiron
Gang.
Gang.
If you didn't cry in that, you have no heart. You have no. There's no
I'm gonna be
soul
honest with
there.
you. I know I've seen it so many times. I don't know that I've cried, but the last watch,
I haven't
watch.
seen that, but I know what happened.
What,
I know what happened.
The army dudes?
no. The last
cops.
watch is two cops
Oh
that-
yeah,
in
yeah,
LA,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
and he's filming like
It's what's the guy's name? He's got a funny last name.
Gyllenhaal.
Gillen, that's the one.
Boom.
And the
Big
Mexican,
Gyllenhaal
he's always funny, but that was his serious
That
role.
was a serious movie.
Yeah. That was a good movie. That was
no,
a good
and
movie.
even in the movie, he was funny as shit. Like
Really?
he was the funny out of the two. Like he was the
I
stupid
should
one.
see that movie. Why?
Yo, he said I cried in Lion King when Mufasa died. You guys is fucking hilarious.
Hey, who did? That's a great point. Who didn't cry in Lion King when Mufasa died?
Yo, that's
I'm
hilarious.
gonna piss
I
you
don't
off,
remember
champ.
if I cried.
I've never seen the movie in full.
What?
Never seen Lion King in full.
But he don't have kids. Well, you neither.
No, I don't. But I
you're
was a
young
kid.
enough
I was a
to
kid
have,
before.
Yeah, you're young enough to have lived through Lion King.
The thing is, Tim, I'm Mexican, man. I've been cutting grass since I was like 7. Right.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching oh my God. There's a movie we would watch all the time called Mi Familia. And in English, they had both. They did
My
it.
Family?
They did it in English and Spanish. It was My Family. J-Lo was like the mom in the beginning of that movie. Yup. So J-Lo's the mom in the beginning of that movie, and it's legit a Mexican family crossing the borders and the struggle. And I'm like, yo, why? Y'all didn't even have it this rough. I'm like, why do y'all keep watching this movie over and over?
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't watch like a lot of kid movies.
No, Lion King. Let me tell you something about
like
Lion
I'm
King.
watching them now.
I cried in Lion King when I was a baby, when I was a kid. And now growing up now, I'm like, the Lion King story is like, that's me. Like, I feel, hey, listen.
Wait, I want to know how.
Listen,
Let me get it.
I'm Simba. Like, Simba's trying to, his dad dies, and he's got to fill the shoes of his dad. So that's how I feel with like boxing with my grandfather. I'm like, this is crazy. I talk about it to my family all the time.
Let's go. I love it, man.
That's what it is.
Yo, Rotten Tomatoes gave that a 79, bro. So your family has good taste, man. Listen, Brian, let's cut to the promo for Kenichi Beer. Give out your social media.
My social media, the important one is Instagram. It's Nico Ali Walsh, NicoAliWalsh. I'm on TikTok now. I'm doing good on TikTok. I'm trying to post as much as I can. And Twitter, you could find me by looking me up somewhere.
And
I don't know.
you may see him on your next edition of Vogue. Or you never know.
Yeah,
No.
Versace wearing a new Versace robe.
You
Listen,
will not.
don't go away. We're just going to take a quick picture with him. YouTube family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.